in the drawings, and after it coming up, and after you see that I have a lot of little houses, suitcases, bags. Whatever I do with suitcases and bags, they transfer to, to paper bags. So sometimes I do carve a lot of suitcases, and it's not here in this show. Do you want me to explain one specific one? Some of them, they have stitches, and I thought I wanted to put stitches, and after I didn't want it. No, I did. I like a few of them, but I didn't like it in a lot of them. So also about love, you see here like a person bringing like these 3 hearts walking with, and sometimes when you come from another culture, it feels like it's not that you can never be happy, but it feels like always you're happy, but a little bit no, because you are thinking of the people that you left behind and all your family. Like for example, here in the United States, I have a daughter, but she lives in Houston, so practically I don't have nobody other than friends. So my whole family is still in Argentina and some in Italy. But so for me, it's that longing all the time that is always is missing, and it's always is there. So that's reason maybe explain how many hearts I have. I do a lot of ladders and also steps, because I feel like as long as you keep moving, it doesn't matter if you are up in the steps and fall down again, keep up, go up, keep going. And I think it's like, life is, you never know. I mean, you keep going, you are up, you are down, and up and down. As long as you don't get stuck, it's always good. So it's always, and so that's like the representation I have with the steps. And in this one, the steps actually, they're upside down. If somebody knows about construction, usually that's where you're supposed to step. But I always find that when you come to another culture, like this is my 4 culture, so it's my 4 language and my 4 different things I have to get used to and immerse myself. So always it's a little difficult, because, I mean, it's not that, the thing is sometimes people see differences, and sometimes people, I mean, I just don't see. I just go to a country or to things, it's just humans. I never see color, I never see gender, I never see anything. So for me, I don't have a problem, but of course, when I open my mouth, people say, oh, you are not from here. But anyway, so this one, that's what I make the steps a little in the other way, because it's kind of like, sometimes it's a little difficult life, and I don't want it to complain, but I mean, you have to learn a new culture, a new language, everything. When I come to this country, I didn't speak any English, so I have to learn here. So it was like, but I never stopped doing things. I just keep talking. And this one, it calls Becoming One, and it's kind of like the different phases that we have just to become, and if we ever become one. Is such a thing? I don't know. And one of the things about not having faces, mostly when I do things in stone, I always, I took the faces because I was training. I started carving stone when I was in Spain with the people who did the public monument. And they were very purist, so we were 7 of us, and we didn't use machines, and just hammer and chisel, and because I was the little one, so always I had to do the faces. It's not that I got tired, but it's just, so I always had to do the faces, and they, but when I come here, it feel like it was more division about who your group is, are you Asian, are you black, are you Latino? It's just kind of always you have to have like some sort of like a stamp. And so I say I'm not doing any more faces, because when you are not carving with a model, or sometimes you ended up doing a lot of your facial sometimes, like you do a hand and things come out looking like you. And so I didn't want it to have nothing to do with that, and that reason is no face. But so I don't know if you wanted to talk. I can talk about this piece.
If anybody else, starting with clothes on moving out, whether there are any
About the what? Oh, the colors. Well, I was not going to use the colors. And after they were there, left behind, and I said, you know what, this is really interesting because it's also gives such a presence of the human being, just by having the color. So I didn't mean it like, okay, I will make colors, in a specific, but it just come out. Because sometimes when you are working, you start with an idea, but so many times things change. It's kind of life. You can just get stuck with that, and if things happen, come to you, you just kind of try to use that. I mean, another thing that you probably see a lot is like paper boat, ladder, heart, and bags. And the ladder, well, I explained that. And the paper boat, I think, is just to kind of say that, just the moving a lot. It's not that actually I move and boat, but and I do have actually a boat in the back of my studio. It's very funny. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, I think just to keep like this immigration going. And this one, I kind of wanted to represent like my grandmother and mother. That, I don't know, when we have the clothesline in the patio, you always kind of like make it so, it was great for conversations, great for like to do things while the clothing dancing with the sun and getting dry, so we were having all this conversation. And they are not here anymore, so it's like an absent from them, but they are super present in my life because of the learning that they give me and all the talk. And like, for example, my mother said to me, you never give up, so that is kind of like, why? Never give up, keep going, be strong. And so that's the reason I carved the feet of a stone, because just to kind of like, they're so present, they're absent, but they're very present. And that's the idea I have for this piece specific. And this one, I use chairs, I paint, and after I draw on top. Yes.
When you did the feet, did you carve it to look like the legs were broken off, or did you actually break them off?
No, I carve it like that because like the stone was kind of uneven. So when I start, it was kind of like a rectangular, and after you carve out, you just kind of reduce to the feet. Any other question? Yes.
The clothesline, do you consider each of these a single piece, or is this entire?
No, a single piece. Yeah.
These are each single?
Yeah. I mean, everything, like, I mean, they all have something to do, and that's how I put it together when I put it together a show. All the show have something to do among themselves, I mean, it can be a whole piece, but it also can be individual pieces. Yeah. Because when I do it, I do individually. It's not that I put it all together and figure it out.
It's not meant to always be in this configuration.
Yeah. Is any other? Yes.
The houses that symbolize the places where you lived before?
Yes, where I have been living. I mean, I've been moving a lot lately in Boston, and like the rent goes up and up. And so I've been moving a lot in Boston, but also, yeah, I have things that when I left, I am from the center of Argentina, and after I was Buenos Aires, Brazil, and Italy, a couple of places, and after in Spain, and come here. And I also live in Texas, in Austin, Texas, in Jekyll Island, Georgia, and in Western Mass. Yeah.
I think in the interest of time, I just
It's time to hear somebody without an accent.